All right, what's going on, you guys? I promised I'd do a stream tonight with these 4 first edition booster boxes, so here we are. We're going to try to get through all of them tonight, and hopefully we can get a red ink and a fistful of Mothmen tonight. Wait a second here and get some people in here. And make sure we're live here. All right, there we go. Now we're live. What's up, Richie? Let the comparisons begin, for sure. I'm definitely hoping we can get something a little unique tonight. I'm really hoping that we can get a red ink. I'm feeling lucky after pulling that blue ink from the second edition, so hopefully we can have something similar happen tonight. And all these boxes are pretty damaged. Like the corner of this one's all smashed. This one's pretty smashed up too. And everybody always says that the damaged boxes are the ones that have the most hits, so hopefully that proves to be correct. What's up, Meta Dave? How you doing, bro? I think we're all enjoying the new zoo. I think we're all happy to be back. And these are actually the last of my first edition boxes. So once I go through these, well, actually I have one left that's in my sealed collection that I won't open, but of my boxes to be opened, these are the last of my first edition. And whatever we pull tonight that is significant, we'll go in with the PSA submission that we've got over here that's been building, that's got some of the hits from the last night's stream. That would be something, pulling the red ink now that the new stuff is out. That would be my luck. Of course, the biggest hits that I've ever pulled have all been off camera. The 2 red inks were both like just me ripping second edition because it was so cheap. Just me on the couch ripping it off camera, and of course, back-to-back blue inks off camera. Starting out with a Frost Aura, not a red ink. It was interesting, though, like all of the boxes that I opened of second edition when I pulled that blue ink, I think I ended up opening 5 or 6 boxes total. And out of all of those boxes, I didn't pull one single Mothman out of 5 or 6 boxes of second edition. So hopefully that's not what happens tonight, because I want to get some more first edition moths to send to PSA. Missed the stream last night. We'll have to see what I'll show you. I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you after this pack. Starting out with a reverse level and Frogman. I'll show you right now what we pulled last night. Let's see here. Yeah, all those were last night. I think we did pretty well. So we did pretty much hit the average. Every single booster box that we opened last night looked like we pulled about 2. Well, exactly 2 3-stars per booster box. So we got the Hodag, which seems to be kind of a fan favorite of the textured cards. A Sun Wukong, Sword of Suitor, Ziz, the Chupacabra, which I think is pretty interesting looking. It's definitely an interesting take on the Chupacabra. Snallygaster, Trample. Of course, the biggest hit of the night was probably this Mothman 3-star. Not quite as cool as the Mothbryon secret rare, but still something. Mothman super rare. We got a few of the Mothman hollows. The Quetz, that seems to be a pretty popular 3-star hit. Some more of the hollow Mothman, another Snallygaster. Pretty much all of these Mothman, though, just the regular hollows seem to be pretty ungradable. They've all got print lines. I looked at all of them up close, and I don't think any of them would get a PSA 10 after further review. But yeah, I was definitely happy about the variety. I didn't want to get a bunch of duplicates. I wanted to see some of the big hits firsthand and get some nice variation in what we got, because I haven't watched a whole lot of streams of the new Metazoo, so I haven't even seen all the cards yet. So I was kind of excited to get mostly different hits in all the boxes. But of the 5 boxes we opened, we didn't get a single hidden rare. So, of course, that means we got to buy more boxes and do more streams. Another reverse frog. The new stuff is neat. I'm not crazy about the super rare silver looking holofoils. In my opinion, those are the worst cards in the new set. I do think they very closely resemble the refractors from Topps Chrome, but I think the reason they're the worst cards in the set is because of the print quality on those seems to be worse than anything else. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera here or not, but I got a couple of these Mothman ones, and it's got a massive print line right down the middle. Yeah, I can see it on the camera there. And pretty much every single one of those that I pulled had something wrong with it, whether it was a print line or a big scratch. I see a print line on this one, another print line right there too. There's 2 print lines on this one. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of them. I think the artwork on some of them is kind of cool. Like the Sun Wukong one I thought looked nice. But I think the interesting thing about the new Metazoo so far is that the main appeal, I think, is to collectors, because there's really not a player community yet. There's no tournaments or anything, no competitive play scene that's like set up. So most of the people that are opening it now, I'm assuming, are primarily collectors. And I think a lot of them are going to be looking to grade this stuff. And I think that's kind of the element of the super rares that's disappointing, is I don't think anybody's going to be able to get a PSA 10 on these things, because from what I've seen, it doesn't just seem to be a common problem. It seems to be almost every single one of those cards has an issue with it. At least the silver ones do. And last night, after I ended the stream, I went through all the hits that we pulled, and it really kind of looks like, there we go, there's a full hollow Jersey Devil. It really kind of looks like the only hits that didn't have any noticeable issues as far as centering, print lines, scratches, were the textured cards. And I think the main reason for that was because they were borderless, so you couldn't really see the centering on the front. And I think the texture makes it a lot harder to see if there was any print lines or anything like that. It'll be interesting to see how this set grades, though, for sure, especially since it seems like it's primarily a collector community thing right now. But even just the regular hollows, like I said, those Mothman hollows, I thought they looked really cool, but almost every single one of the regular hollows, oh, that's a nice way to start it out. No print line on this Mothman. Nice. I will never get tired of pulling this OG Mothman. That's another one going to PSA. Centering looks good. No print line. Centering looks good on the back. This is probably going to be a 10. Very nice. What's up, Silky? A showstopper, no matter what, no matter when you pull it, for sure. I'll never get tired of that card. What's up, Greg? The old Metazoo just feels so right. What's up, Cart Gal? The gameplay channels in the Metazoo Discord have some good discussions, but not much organized play, even from the community. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that, for sure. But I think that is the real unfortunate part of the quality control with this new set, is it does seem, at least the initial customer base is collectors, and I feel like a lot of collectors are going to be let down by the fact that these are. I really don't think they're going to grade well at all. Medium's third eye reverse, which is unfortunate, because I think this Mothman is so good looking. for just a regular 1-star holo rare. This is such a good looking card. I would love to grade this and have this in a 10 just to have it. But every single one of them that I pulled has a print line, if not multiple. And I pulled a few of them. I think I pulled like 5 or 6. And pretty much every single one had an issue. I mean, at least with the super rares, I can kind of understand. I mean, it's very similar to the refractors from Topps Chrome. There's just so much reflective holographic surface on there. There's a lot more room for there to be an issue, but even the regular holos seem kind of, for the most part, there's something wrong with those too. Silver Bullet, nice. Yeah, I think a lot of the regular holo rares look good. Like I said last night when I pulled the, even just something like the Metal Man of Alabama, shout out to Meta Dave, but the Metal Man, just regular holo rare from the new set, looks so good. But again, I don't think it's really gradable. The quality is just... But as far as the artwork goes, I was very pleasantly surprised with a lot of the cards. I think a lot of the cards looked really good. I think the foiling on a lot of those regular holos looked really good. I think the layout looked really good. I know a lot of people are complaining it looks too similar to Lorcana, but I really like the layout of a lot of the new cards. I think it looks a lot more streamlined, a lot more clean, and a lot more professional. I mean, there's always going to be something nostalgic about the old Metazoo, but I think as far as like mainstream appeal, the streamlined, clean look of the new cards, I think is a net positive. The larger art box with the OG art looks unreal too. Yeah. I mean, the size difference is crazy. 24 packs versus 36. It is a lot. The OG box is a lot deeper than the new one for sure. We got to be thankful at least that they didn't stick with that original booster box design. I feel like that original red and blue booster box artwork that they came out with would not hold up next to the OG. It had to be something completely different. I like what they did, especially making a completely different cryptid, the Sun Wukong, that wasn't even featured in the OG Metazoo. Making that the centerpiece of the new box, I feel like was a good move. What's up, Robert? Hey, Nick, how have you been? New Metazoo is delayed in Australia until like mid-April. Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I saw several comments on last night's stream, people from Australia saying they didn't have access to it yet. That's unfortunate. Chaos Crystal Reverse. I'd really like to know some of the numbers on this. I doubt they're ever going to release them, but as far as like the print run and like what did the distribution look like internationally? Was there any at all? Like how many international distributors did they have and how many international partners were buying these? I'd really like to know some of those numbers. I love the OG Zoo, but the new Zoo is fire. I can't disagree. And like I said last night, I think one of the big things that I really enjoyed about the new one is like compared to this, all that you get out of every pack, nice full holo chaos crystal, but you're just getting a holo or a reverse holo from the OG Zoo. And at least with there being so many different rarities in the new one, it makes every pack and every box a lot more, I feel like, exciting to open in the sense that they're more unpredictable. Actually, I'm going to put that in a card saver. I might grade that. It's delayed in Canada too. I ordered some from the US and it came faster than an update from the Canadian stores I ordered from. Well, because they did say, the new Metazoo did say they were going to have international distribution right out of the gate, right? So I kind of wonder what those numbers look like for international partners and international distributors, how worldwide this first set really went. Mothhawk says, have to imagine print run is really low overall. It certainly seems that way. I was doing some research after the stream last night, and it certainly seems like looking at the sold listings for single cards, it definitely looks like the singles have came down. And this happened, of course, with every old Metazoo set as well. Right at release, all the singles were going for crazy numbers, and now they're dropping. But it certainly seems like with the new Metazoo, a lot of the singles hits have kind of fallen off a cliff in the last week or so. I think some of those cards, some of those 3-star cards were going for a couple $100 in the beginning, and now they're, more like 30, 40, 50 for the bigger hits. It seems like the hidden rares, though, are holding up pretty well. All the listings that I saw for the Mothbrion, the other hidden rare Mothman, were anywhere from like 600 to a little over $1,000. And the sold listings seem to be up there too. Yeah, I'm waiting for mine from Canadian source too. So you did at least have Canadian partners that, in theory, got it from distribution. Or in theory, had an order from distribution. There we go. Full Hollow Loveland Frogman. So this box started out with a few reverse hollows back to back to back, but we're not even halfway through the box, and we've already got a full hollow Chaos Crystal, full hollow Mothman, and full hollow Frogman. So not a bad box. Just getting started. Mike says just bought 2 boxes yesterday. Can't wait to rip them. I won't tell you guys how many yet, but I did just place another order for some more of the new boxes. I'm definitely going to do a longer, bigger stream, opening definitely more than 5 boxes. I don't even think I've seen all 5 Mothhawks. So I've seen the 2 Mothmen. There's a Piazza Bird hidden rare. There's a Bigfoot hidden rare, right? And then what's the 5th one? 2 Mothmen, Piazza, Bigfoot. Is it Lady Luck? I saw someone post a Lady Luck that I hadn't seen before. I don't know if that was just, I guess I didn't look at it long enough to see if it was a 3-star or a hidden rare. Space Penguins reverse. Oh, right. The cover character of the booster box. Sun Wukong. They seem like they definitely are pretty difficult to pull. You said it's about 1 per case. I haven't seen very many people post that they've pulled, except Mothhawk was the first person that I saw pull one. I haven't seen very many people post that they've pulled a hidden rare. Because even though I didn't watch very many openings, I was still scrolling through my Pokemon Instagram feed, and I would see people post some hits here and there, and I didn't see very many of the hidden rares. I saw the Piazza Bird, I saw Mothhawk's Mothman, then on eBay I saw the other Mothman that people keep posting. I think I saw the Bigfoot maybe on Whatnot. And even though I ordered some more of the new boxes, I still didn't go crazy deep on it. Like I went deeper than I went with the first order, but I'm still kind of wondering if they're going to do a second wave of these boxes, because I do feel like it was a very short print run, and I feel like they're going to do another round, and I feel like the prices are going to come down. So I'm kind of hesitant to buy any more at secondary market value or just in general until we see whether or not they re-release or do a second wave or print more. Metazoo Menace says you pulled 2 hidden. It might have been you that I saw the Piazza Bird from then. You pulled the Piazza and the Sun Wukong in 1 case, and the poncho box. But Mothhawk has the poncho box and the OG Moth. That's the top of the top. Yeah. Mothhawk is the best I've seen. The market for the 3 stars are all over. Yeah. That's what I've seen on eBay too. I pulled the other Moth Hidden Rare, the new artwork. The Moth Brion, huh? Oh, your girlfriend pulled the Bigfoot Hidden Rare, Greg. Nice. So what are the values like on the other hidden rares? Like, obviously, the Mothman is going to be the big chase, so we're seeing crazy numbers on the Mothman hidden rare. But like the Piazza or the Bigfoot, and I think Sun Wukong will probably be up there too. I haven't looked at the prices at all on that, but like the Mothman, the Bigfoot and the Piazza bird, rather, what are the prices looking like for that? Is it just a couple $100 on that? Steve's Collectible said I pulled a Mike Waddell hidden rare. Black Cat reverse. Maybe we can get my buddy Chris to call in tonight on FaceTime, and we'll watch him open one of his boxes. He got two of the new booster boxes in the mail today, and he FaceTimed me earlier opening one of them, and he still has one left. I believe he pulled the Rainbow Crow 3-star, and I think he said he pulled the Trample as his other 3-star out of that box. But he still has one box left, and with Chris's luck, I feel like he's gonna, off of a 2-box order, he's gonna be one of those guys that only spends $200 and gets a hidden rare right out of the gate. Bigfoot is 300 to 400. Piazza is about the same or a little bit more. That's about what I expected. Seeing that other Mothman hidden rare priced around $600 on eBay. I mean, it ranged from 600 to 1,000 something, but I figured the other hits would probably be about half that. I think, honestly, people were pretty like 50-50 on the new Piazza bird design. I think my favorite Piazza bird artwork was the native Piazza bird. I think that's the Piazza that I liked the most out of any interpretation of it. I really like the native one. I think that one was just a gorgeous, gorgeous card. This one's good too, but that native Piazza I think might be my favorite of any of them. How do you get your hands on these alt art boxes? It seems like it's pretty random whether you get one or not. If you get it, you pretty much have to get a sealed case direct from the distributor if you want a chance to get one. It seems like a lot of the people that got them out of their cases are just setting them aside and then selling them on eBay. So I don't think you're going to get one from any partners because they're just too expensive. They're going for a couple $1,000s, and as much as you want a partner to send you a sealed case and just be honest about it, I have a feeling if you're buying from a partner and you're buying a sealed case, you're not going to get one. Or if you're hoping for a sealed case, you're not going to get one. Yeah, I think 300 for Bigfoot is very undervalued considering it typically takes multiple cases to pull it. And that's the other thing I'm waiting on too, is like with the alt art box, obviously I really want one. And obviously I could buy one if I wanted to, but I really feel like there's going to be another wave. They're going to sell more of this base set. And I kind of just want to wait and just buy it direct from the distributor and just buy, maybe I'll buy 3, 4, 5 cases or something and have a better shot at it, but we'll see. I would definitely not be one of the people that's spending $3,000 on the alt art box right now. I think that's a bad move. And don't get me wrong, it's a badass box. And I think the cards, I think you said they were called Shadow Rares, right? Mothhawk. Those cards were sick, but I would not be one of the people spending $3,000 on one of those boxes right now. Oh, really? PA Pokemon Pool says the magazine kind of stinks. I don't have one. I haven't gotten one yet. I was assuming it was going to be really short. Like I'm assuming it's not going to be a 200-page magazine. I was assuming it was more like 20 or 30. I don't think many people were expecting it to be the best read. I think they just wanted the packs and the alpha decks. That's a good question, Metazoo Menace. I don't think anybody has sold one yet. And I think Menace, or I'm sorry, not Menace, but Mothhawk is one of the only people that I've seen even open the poncho box. I think most people are just either keeping it, holding it, or just selling it immediately. I don't think anybody's even ripping them. I mean, to be honest with you guys, if I pulled one out of a case, as much as I love to rip, I don't think I would open it. So again, shout out to Mothhawk because you got balls of steel opening that thing. I don't think I could do it. I think someone at the recent convention opened it. Zell's did. See, I haven't seen very many openings. I definitely haven't seen that one. Oh man, that sucks. Really, the box was beat, and just so we could all see. Yeah, that's why I respect it, so we could see what was inside. You're the man, bro. I'm curious, like you guys that got it directly from the distributor. I had the opportunity to. I talked to someone at Metazoo about getting a partner account to buy from the distributor, and I looked at the. I guess this varies based on where you live, like what state you live in, and it might also vary on what country you live in. But when I looked at the reseller certificate or whatever it was that you needed, and I looked into getting one, it was going to cost me like I think a total of $500 something just to get the certificate to buy the boxes. And at the time, I was thinking, well, how many of these boxes am I really going to buy that's going to be worth me paying $500 just to buy, you know, another 6 boxes, another 12 boxes. So I hadn't pulled the trigger on getting that certificate yet because it seemed so expensive. So I was kind of curious if you guys like you guys live in Canada, so I wonder if you had to if there was a different process for you guys. But this reseller certificate thing that you got to get it directly from the distributor, the cost of it, I was like, man, this seems awfully expensive. And it's not like I'm going to order, 10 cases. At most, I might get 12 boxes. I don't know. I hadn't pulled the trigger on it yet. It didn't seem like it was worth it at this point. Missouri is double digits. That's definitely in the realm of the states. It sucks. The shadow rare should be random in a box. Yeah, 25% tariffs to get the product here sucks. Oh, yeah, I could imagine. I bought mine from Steel City Collectibles. They hear some companies open cases looking for them. I'm glad they didn't. See, because like when these boxes came out, there were people selling them for $80 a box, and I saw a couple of people selling them for a little bit less. And I feel like I'd rather just do that than spend $500 trying to get. But I guess in the long term, if I had if I could get anything from the new Metazoo direct from the distributor, it'd be worth it. But I just wasn't sure how deep I was going to go on this, and I thought $500 just to get them cheaper didn't seem like a great deal. And then on top of that, I would be spending probably another 1,000 on just the boxes that I ordered from the distributor. I'd probably get a couple cases. I was gonna get them. Poketino says, but it's tough getting to a distributor, isn't it? Which one were you looking at getting? I was gonna get them directly through Cardio. And then I guess the other reason too is like, at least here in Ohio, the way they had it set up to get the reseller certificate is you had to tie it to an LLC. And I have an LLC for Nick Strength and Power, but then I don't know like the tax ramifications of like tying this reseller thing to my other business. I guess I could make a new LLC, but I don't know. It just seemed like a lot. But when I looked into it, that's basically what it says is you have to tie this to an LLC, which I have and I could do, but I just don't really know. It just seems like a headache to tie it to my Nick Strength and Power LLC. Earth's Core reverse. I pulled the Mothbrion Hidden Rare number 235 tonight out of my first box. It was a pretty nice. Hell yeah, bro. Sick. I only had 2 customers ask about sealed cases and if that's where the market is. If they do a reprint, it'd be willing to sell only cases. I'd be willing to sell only cases. I mean, it makes sense that they would do a reprint, right? I mean, if you were them, think about it. They're kind of taking a big gamble on this first set. And I feel like they kept the print run low to try to gauge the interest. Because I think obviously this was a low printed set. And it makes sense that would be the strategy for this to be a low printed thing, kind of see what the interest is. And if the interest is high and it seems like it's going to be a success, then they'll do a second wave or print more. And I think based on what I've seen, this first run seems like it was a success. It seems like there's still more demand for it. And I just don't see why they wouldn't do another run. I mean, I think the proof of concept is just the fact that you have boxes from this new set selling for thousands of dollars. I think that proves the point. I think that's a good proof of concept right there. I think that proves that it was a success and the demand is very high. Slide Rock Bolter reverse. And I was looking at like I've got like all these different indie TCGs, right? I've gotten all this free stuff from these different indie TCGs, and I've opened so much of it. And I was looking at singles from all these different, Kickstarter TCGs on eBay when I was looking at the Metazoo stuff. And like the secondary market for singles of something like Chronicles of Arcane or something like even Nom Nom, or what was the other one I was looking at? Alestrals. All of these like up and coming TCGs that have been around for like a couple years, the new Metazoo has already way eclipsed that with the secondary market activity on eBay. Like there's hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of listings of the new Metazoo already on eBay. And it's like more than all these other TCGs combined. So the interest is clearly there with the new zoo. Because I was looking at what was I had a graded, was it Primal TCG? And there's only like 2 other singles even listed on eBay. Whereas the new Metazoo comes out and immediately the secondary market's like on fire. I'm going to check with New Dimensions tomorrow before the price starts moving. Definitely less people on Whatnot selling. Hey, that's a good point too, bro. But why is everybody, including me, trying to sell our hits as PA Pokemon pools? That is true. And I guess that is the other thing too. I mean, it's the same way with the old Metazoo though, right? Like there were like a couple hits with the old Metazoo in every set that were the hits that I was chasing. And then anything else, if I didn't really want it in my personal collection, I'd pretty much sell any of the other hits. And I feel like that's kind of the same way with this new Metazoo. Everybody has the hits that they're looking for. You know, I'm sure probably most people are looking for the Mothman hidden rare, but there's probably people that just want to get that Piazza bird, or people that just want to get that Bigfoot, and they're selling everything else. And I think part of it is because there's so many different, relatively bigger hits in this new Metazoo. That's probably why you're seeing so many people sell them. I feel like most people opening it have a couple cards that they want to chase, but there's all these other hits, so they're just selling them so they can keep chasing whatever card they're after. I mean, it was like that with the old Metazoo too, so I get it. But that was kind of my first thought too when I got some of those hits last night. I was like, which one of these can I sell? But I think I'm just going to grade all of them, just all the 3-star rares, just to see how they do. Because I think I pulled 10 total last night, and that would give me a really good baseline. If I grade all 10 3-star textured cards, then we would get a very clear percentage of how many get 10s, how many get 9s out of 10. I tried submitting all my alt arts to PSA, and there's no... Yeah, so Charlie said you can submit them. It just won't auto-populate the name. You got to fill out the information yourself. He said you can send them right now. You just got to fill out the description yourself. It's just not going to auto-populate yet. Got any other TCGs on your radar that seem like they will do well? I always got to shout out LawCal TCG. Love me some LawCal. Actually, I have I don't see Tuffy in here tonight, but I do have... Let me see here. This is the packaging for their new set. It comes in sealed VHSs for the Horror House. I've got a bunch of these. And these are what the packs look like. And I've got like hundreds of these packs. What's up, Kobe? How's it going, bro? I think one of the things with LawCal that makes it still limited right now is like some of the creators, influencers, whatever you want to call them, LawCals featured in the set are a little bit more niche, but I feel like it has infinite room to expand to just so many other creators, and I feel like they could take this thing so much further than where it's at right now. So as far as like room for growth, I feel like there's a lot with LawCal. How you liking these after yesterday's boxes? Does it feel any different? Honestly, I'll never get tired of opening first edition Cryptid Nation. I mean, the first few packs, it was like banger after banger: Mothman, Chaos Crystal, Loveland Frogman, and I'll never get tired of pulling these cards. I mean, if I'm being totally real, you guys might disagree with this. And Kobe, you probably definitely disagree with this. I prefer the OG Mothman to this textured Mothman. I just like the artwork better. And I know Kobe probably disagrees with that, but I'd rather pull this than this to keep it 1,000 with you. I need some more card savers over here. Let me grab some. No, absolutely not. Nerdicus. If I pulled the textured Mothman with the OG art, it's not the card itself that I prefer. It's just the artwork. So if I pulled the new version of the OG Moth, I would prefer that. It's just that that depiction of the Mothman is my favorite. Like this newer one, the thing that I don't like about it, I mean, obviously it's a great looking card, but the thing that I don't like about it is like the slender, tall, like lanky design of the Mothman. It kind of gives me like Slender Man vibes. Obviously, the card itself, the texture, the full art, it looks good, but I much prefer the Cryptid Nation interpretation of Mothman, kind of like a fatter, more cutesy Mothman. This one is like more sinister and lanky, and I don't know. I just prefer the OG. Which is funny because honestly, the new Mothman artwork is probably more lore accurate. I mean, a lot of the like the folk tales and anecdotal accounts of Mothman were a more like sinister, creepy, tall, like 6 foot humanoid with wings type of description. So probably the new artwork is more accurate to what the myth actually is. But that OG Mothman that's the Mothman that I like. It's pretty stunning how many card savers I go through in 1 year's time. All right. But I will say the other hidden rare Mothman that's not the OG artwork, I really like that one. The one that they call the Mothbrion, I really like that artwork. I still prefer the OG to that one, but I really like that one. I think that one's pretty good. And honestly, like this one, I really like this one too. I mean, this is pretty much the OG Mothman. And this is kind of the other criticism that I saw people have of the new Metazoo, specifically with Piazza Bird, but I think it also applies to Mothman, is like the variance in depictions of these cryptids it's a lot. Like from card to card, one cryptid looks very, very different. And I don't know if in the long run that's going to be a good thing or if it's going to be a bad thing. Like even from this to this one, and then going to this one, like these almost look like 3 different creatures entirely. Like, I mean, this does not even look like this is the same thing. I wonder if they will go, bro, TMX. That's exactly the theory that I had. Is like with this first set, I wonder if they wanted to make all the artwork different, so different on purpose to kind of gauge which artworks rose to the top as far as like which ones the fans liked the best and then continue with that style going forward. Cuz I feel like there's so much variance with all the cryptids in this new set. And I feel like they're going to see that directly reflected in the secondary market and what people are posting the most, which one people like. I don't even know if they would need a vote. I feel like they could pretty accurately gauge like which versions people like the best. That's a good question, Metazoo Menace. Metazoo Menace says, let's say the old Metazoo never existed and this was the first Metazoo ever. Does the new zoo give you the same excitement and feeling as the old Metazoo? No wrong answers, just curious if it has that hook. I mean, it's kind of tricky, right? Because it's hard to imagine me even opening the new Metazoo without having experienced the old Metazoo. But I will say, hmm, I don't know. That's a tough question. I mean, it was definitely exciting to open. It was fun to open. I enjoyed it. Um, I feel like a lot of my enjoyment, though, came from the fact that I really felt like, I mean, there was like a good 6 months to a year period where I think myself and probably a lot of you guys also felt like there's never going to be another new Metazoo product for us to open. So I feel like I was really excited to open this, but I feel like a big part of the reason why I was excited was because for a long time I felt like we would never have a new Metazoo product to open ever again. So just the fact that we had something to me was exciting. And I think the fact that they were featuring some of the old artwork and the old cryptids, I think was also exciting because it gave that nostalgic hit from what we experienced opening the original. So it's tough. That's a tough question to answer. I think the honest answer though is if the old Metazoo had never existed, I don't think I would be opening the new Metazoo. I think the old Metazoo was lightning in a bottle. It was the perfect time, the perfect place, the perfect formula, and that's what got me into it. And I feel like if this new Metazoo was the only Metazoo and came out right now, I don't think I would have bought into it. And I saw somebody make this point on yesterday's live stream, and I think this is a good point as well. They were saying, why has Metazoo themselves not really had a big marketing push for the new set? And when you really think about it, I mean, other than the videos that they put out, kind of explaining what it was, there really wasn't a big marketing push beyond the existing Metazoo fan base. That really is true. I think most people that bought the new Metazoo were people from the old Metazoo, so they didn't really need like a big marketing budget or a big marketing push. So if the old Metazoo never existed, I don't know how I would have even heard of the new Metazoo. It's kind of tough to imagine. Metazoo Menace says agreed with Meta Dave. Their tops Chrome vibes to know each box. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that too. I mean, just like what we're doing tonight, we're going to open 4 boxes of first edition, but you know, from box to box, unless you pull a red ink, once you've opened one box that has some good hits, you've pretty much pulled it all. I mean, pulling a full hollow Moth, a full hollow Chaos Crystal, a full hollow Loveland Frogman, a bunch of other hollows out of the first box, it doesn't really, you know, there's not really going to be another box that tops that. It's like the average box experience is about the same if you get some of those hits out of a box, whereas with this new Metazoo, you're pretty much getting something different every single box that you open. I think it'll take a few sets before they start a huge marketing campaign. Next set will be water themed. I can't wait for the next set. I can't wait to see some of these new Frogman cards. And what I'm excited for, to be honest, is after seeing the OG Mothman hidden rare chase in this first set, I'm envisioning what an OG Frogman hidden rare chase could look like in the new set, and I think it's gonna be so fucking sick. I think it's gonna look awesome, and that is what I'm excited for. This as a hidden rare chase, I think is gonna be so dope. Kickstarter had very little marketing. I feel like base set, that's a good way of looking at it. Base set is just Kickstarter for the new zoo. But I mean, the other thing too is like even their social media presence, I felt like it's not like a big push even just on posting on social media. Like they posted some teasers of the artwork and they've like reposted some people that have pulled some hits and stuff, but even just posting on social media, I feel like there hasn't been much of a push from them. Robert Kyle says, didn't he say he wanted to make Metazoo more mainstream? So I guess he has plans to gain instead, to gain interest to more people. Fresno Nightcrawlers full hollow. PA says, I mean, I like it, but I want to keep the course with One Piece. I've been making a killing on One Piece due to cards being playable and character popularity. I think that is a crucial element of the new Metazoo that they need to get the ball rolling on, is the competitive scene. And I feel like once the gameplay takes off, if it takes off, I feel like that'll really get the needle moving on this new set. I'm looking to buy a PSA 10 Fresno and Walking Sam, says Balls. I only have one of each, and they're in my personal collection, so I would sell them to you if I had an extra, but I just have one of every card, one of every holo, rather, from first edition in a PSA 10. Over the years, I've had multiple PSA 10s of pretty much every single holo in this set, but right now I just have one of each in my personal collection. All right. Next box. This is the other damaged one. This one's pretty significantly bent on the top. I don't know if you guys can see it that well or not. Kobe says, the only time I've ever heard of the new Metazoo launch or cards or anything has been your videos. I guess I guess that's good for me. I don't know that that's good for them. But then I guess, like, if you don't have, this is an interesting kind of food for thought. Like, if you don't have an anime, if you don't have like a mainstream vehicle tied to your trading card game, what does a traditional marketing push look like for a new TCG? Like, Pokemon is attached to, obviously, this massive franchise. One Piece is attached to a massive franchise. Digimon, Lorcana, they're attached to a massive franchise already. So if you're just an indie trading card game, what does a marketing push even look like if you don't have that like massive mainstream vehicle to rely on? Does it really, Mothhawk? The showcase video has 128,000 views. That does not, if that's true, that does not seem like that's legitimate. That does not seem like that would be organic. I think the most viewed video I've ever had on Metazoo might have hit 10,000. Another Frost Aura. I'm really hoping we get a red ink tonight. Good night, Mesa. Bat Squatch reverse. So does anybody have, how many of you guys have gotten these the alpha decks for the new Metazoo and have tried to play it? Are there any chases like red ink box toppers in the new set? I guess the closest thing would be the cards that come in the poncho box. That's like the close. I guess that is technically a box topper. But it sounds like pretty much every poncho box has the same box toppers in it, so I guess it's not the same thing. The mainstream push on Card Pro magazine. I'll be when the mainstream gets a taste of Metazoo with the Alpha Decks included. One of those magazines circulating. I mean, as far as the Metazoo, that Card Pro magazine, though, I mean, how many people are going to be? I'm sure there are going to be people that try it or get interested in it from that magazine, but how many people are? I feel like most people buying the magazine are people that already know about Metazoo and just want the Metazoo cards. I agree with that, Poketino. Poketino says we all need to get into the gameplay. It seems like right now collectors are buying the product, and hopefully this does not go the route of the old zoo. I plan on getting into the gameplay myself. And I feel like that's going to enrich my own collecting experience, is also having a vested interest in the gameplay, which is something I've never done before, but I think it'd be fun to go and compete at whatever events they end up having. Reverse Quets. Hope the next Metazoo set lists the city and state of each cryptid. I agree with that. I would like to see that too. That magazine has a free Pokemon pack, so those nut jobs will be forced to see Metazoo for the first time. The Metazoo magazine is for hardcore Metazoo fans, but Card Pro is the issue number 1 for all TCGs. I mean, you're talking about the one that has the Mickey Mouse on the front, right? To be completely honest, I've never owned or seen a Card Pro mag. Maybe I've seen one, but I've never owned one or looked at buying one until I knew they had Metazoo packs in it. I don't know. Maybe you're right, and hopefully you are. Forest Gods Amber. Smoking Them Grits says, no more cryptids. They're just creatures now. Cryptid Nation is dead. I'm still going to call them cryptids, honestly. I mean, even when the original Metazoo called them beasties, I never called them beasties either. I always just called them cryptids. Oh, I see what you're saying. I misread Metazoo Menace's first comment. I thought he was saying Card Pro is the number 1 magazine for all TCGs. But what he was saying was this is the first one ever. Got you. I was reading it like it's the number 1 magazine already for trading cards. I didn't realize this was the first issue ever. If I see any new Metazoo in the wild in Virginia next week, I'll let you know. Awesome, bro. I hope we do. I don't have very many LGSs near me, so I haven't really looked. I hope this does get some big box treatment, though. I'd like to be able to go into a Walmart or Target and get some of this. I mean, I think that's what I really enjoyed. That's one of the things I enjoyed the most about the old Metazoo Topps Chrome is just the novelty of being able to go to a Target and find a Metazoo blaster box and buy it. I just something about going to that trading card section and seeing Metazoo Topps, just the novelty of that I really enjoyed. Mothman Reverse. And then it felt like hitting the jackpot when I found a Target that had like, 10, 15 blaster boxes and just buying them all. I saw somebody in the chat last night said they still saw the Seance 3-pack blisters at their local Target. So they've probably been sitting there for a whole year. Yeah, the mystery boxes too. Those were cool. I've still got a couple of those sealed in my personal collection. I think there were 2 or 3 different ones. I think there were 3 different ones. Salem's Witches reverse. A lot of reverses out of this box. I saw a Kuromi at Target, but it was damaged. Nick, have you gotten the Alt Art Metazoo booster box? No, I have not, unfortunately. I mean, it definitely makes sense why they're just sitting there at Target. I don't know who. I mean, even though there is a bit of a premium on some of the big box stamped hits, I don't know who at this point would be paying. What is it? It was like $5 a pack for the. It's $15 for the blister pack, which has 3 packs in it. So $5 a pack for the old Metazoo. I don't know who is paying that for the old Metazoo. Maybe for native, that's still a good deal, but for Seance, you can basically get a whole Seance booster box for less than that. You can probably get one for close to half of that price, a whole booster box of Seance for the price of that 3-pack. Smoking Them Grit says, last weekend I picked up 69 Kuromi blisters for $110, trying to go out and find some zoo in the wild. So was that at like local LGSs? You're talking about single blister packs, right? Oh, I doubt it. Metazoo Menace. Metazoo Menace is a fun question. So we all know the Logan Paul effect on Pokemon. Was there a Nick Strength and Power effect on Loveland Frogman? Went from unknown to top chase in the next set before the set released. I think just immediately this was one of the most beloved cards in Cryptid Nation, whether I liked it or not. I think the artwork is just fucking dope. And I feel like this just immediately became one of the top chases, and I feel like it has been ever since. I wish I had that effect, though. I mean, obviously, this is totally subjective, but I think from the artwork perspective of that first set, Cryptid Nation, though, I think Mothman and Frogman were just by far the 2 best designed cryptids, in my opinion, at least. I think a lot of people probably felt the same way. Because I think the Mothman becoming the chase was just kind of organic, right? Because it wasn't even it's not even on the box. It's on the back, like a very little one. But like on the original box, it's not even one of the main cryptids featured on the box. I think it just became a chase because people love the artwork so much. And Frogman, I guess. Frogman's not even on the box either. That's true. TMX Comics says every Frogman looks different between sets, though. And there definitely are some Frogman arts that I think were kind of duds. Chupacabra. That's a fair point, too. Mothman is the most known. The movie helped. It's crazy how some old zoo cards are still selling for over $500, like the San Diego Comic-Con Hello Kitty. Is that card really still going for $500? Mike Newitt says, I'd heard the Jersey Devil was supposed to be the big chase originally. Slide Rock Bolter Reverse. This is probably one of my least favorite cryptids from first edition. That's a good question for you guys. As far as design goes, from the original Cryptid Nation, what was your least favorite design cryptid? This is probably towards the top of my list. If anyone wants to find more Chromie products, you have to go to stores selling Sanrio stuff. I find them all the time going out and searching these non-card selling places. Like where? Just Five Below? How many other places have the Chromie stuff? Nice Bigfoot. Funeral Mountain Terra Shot is a classic, hateable card for sure. $600 in February? That's crazy. I mean, I guess it is still the only card for Metazoo that just featured a single Hello Kitty, right? Because the only one that was in the Chromie set had Hello Kitty and Chromie on it. I gotta say, this one is up there too. Tripodero. Oh, I don't know about Hoop Snake, man. Hoop Snake is so bad that it's good. Like girl stores, they sell Pokemon too. I see cases and boxes full. Are they at like a discounted price? Or are they at like full MSRP? That's interesting. Another Slide Rock Volter. I might have to look for some of those. That one guy on YouTube that bought like 60 Halloween packs and pulled nothing but Trick No Treat. Quet's Reverse. Seems like a very reverse heavy box. Prices slowly dropping, so smoking them grits. I guess, when did Chromie officially come out? Would it have been November of 23? Nick walking into Forever 21 tomorrow. Snow Wasset. They just buy anything that UCC sells. And that makes sense, I guess. And those cards are in their catalog. So I guess, does UCC, would they get all the money from those sales then? Speak of the devil, there's a hoop snake. Unending Fire Crystal, full holo. Nice, Babe the Blue Ox. Surprised Ollie's doesn't have that. I love Ollie's. That would be cool to see Metazoo at Ollie's. I've got one maybe 15 minutes from me. Squonk. Stores and malls like Pure Knives trying to sell cards also. I've never even heard of Pure Knives. Menehune. I think that's got to be up there for me too, as one of my least favorite cryptid designs. Those Pokemon sleeves scratch up cards, do they? Just because of the hazing on the front, or whatever you would call this, the matte finish. Ollie's is to dead products as old people are to Florida. Fresno Nightcrawlers reverse. I love Ollie's on like the week of Black Friday, where they're like really just giving stuff away. Eternal Snowflake. I definitely need to order more penny sleeves. I haven't used penny sleeves in a long time because I've had so many Metazoo sleeves and Pokemon sleeves that I've got from ETBs and spellbooks and stuff. I just haven't bought any penny sleeves in a long time. Joint Snake. Let me see if I have some Metazoo sleeves in my drawer here. I do have a handful of just loose wilderness sleeves for some reason. I'll use those instead. I'm definitely not a fan of the frosted Pokemon sleeves where it's just not completely clear. I never really did understand the point of that. Jersey Devil reverse. Uncle Sam full holo. So far, this box has been kind of bunk. I'm curious, what do you guys think that the new Metazoo could have done differently to have improved the new set? What changes would you guys have suggested? Like, what did you not like about the new set? Or what would you have liked to seen maybe that you didn't see? What was something that you felt was missing? What was something you felt could have been better with the new set? Keep the old gameplay, says Metazoo Josh. Holy Gem reverse. Mothhawk says cracked a new box while watching and pulled the Sun Wukong box. Damn, dude. That card hits as hard as the OG Moth to me. The texture, the art, the colors are great. Yeah, and that's one of the cards where the texture was actually deliberately designed to flow with the card, right? I agree with that, PA. Lore on the cards, tougher hits, a textured Metal Man, says Meta Dave of Alabama. Honestly, dude, I don't disagree with that. I would like to see Metal Man get some more love. I really like Reverse Loveland Frogman. I really like the new Metal Man Hollow. I think that's one of the best Metal Man cards there's ever been. So is the Sun Wukong the card that you pulled? Is that a hidden rare or a secret rare? That's one of the hidden rare ones. The box art one is the hidden rare. Definitely artwork. I don't like the look of it. They could have kept it original, but made it less bloody for every age. Less bloody for the new artwork. Damn. So what? So if that one's just a regular 3-star, I guess I'm gonna have to look this up. I wonder what the hidden rare one looks like then. I'm gonna look it up right now. Hidden rare. Oh yeah, damn. I haven't even seen this one yet. This is my first time seeing this card, so that's the hidden rare. Honestly, I don't even really like that one. To be honest, I like the box art one way better than this. Honestly, what's this going for? $800? Damn, dude. Let's see what the last sold is. Shit, I might have to just buy some singles. So the card that you pulled, Mothhawk, last sold for $99. I might just have to go on eBay and just buy some of these singles then. Because what I feel like is going to happen here is I'm going to get myself into the same situation that I got myself into with the Kuromi set, and just buying dozens and dozens and dozens of boxes, chasing the Mothman and Kuromi card. Because really, that Mothman hidden rare is like my only chase for this set. That's like my main thing. But if some of these other big hits are going for less than $100, it might be the move just to buy them. All right, 2 boxes down. Let's get into box number 3. A third shot at getting a red ink. You know, another question I'd love to know the answer to. How many unopened boxes do you guys think remain of first edition Cryptid Nation? I feel like at this point, so much of it has been ripped, especially when Metazoo went out of business. I feel like all the people that were holding on to sealed boxes just started selling them, and people bought them to rip them. I feel like that really decreased the number of sealed boxes out there. That like 10-month gap where Metazoo was just dead and the boxes were going for like 60, $70. I feel like a lot of them got ripped in that time. Having a box topper in every box is fire. I think that was probably that and the secret rares were the two best ideas the old Metazoo had to try to bake in some value to the booster boxes. Honestly, I kind of wish they would have continued the box toppers in sets like Wilderness and UFO and Nightfall. The box toppers were dope. I would have loved to see some like dark themed box toppers, some dark themed aura cards in the Nightfall set. 3 frost auras in a row. What are the odds of that? GWAT is almost out of CN2. Really? I'm surprised they sold that much. Who's even buying CN2? Although I will say the red ink that I pulled the blue ink that I pulled the other night was from a CN2 box that I bought from GWAT because I bought it when they were having like actually I bought it from the eBay page, the Evend eBay page when they had like 5 boxes for like some crazy cheap. It was like 5 boxes for like $39.99 or maybe even cheaper than that. It was like less than $10 a box, and that was one of the boxes that I pulled the blue ink from. Chaos Crystal in the first pack. I like that. I like that a lot. I think those ideas, like the red ink and things like Sam Sinclair, like those proprietary ideas that were just very unique to the old Metazoo, I don't think we're going to see those again. And I kind of wonder, even with like Chaos Crystal, I kind of feel like we're not going to see that again either. I feel like those things that were just like an invention of the old Metazoo might not reappear. I think I agree with I saw somebody say this in last night's stream that their biggest criticism of the new Metazoo was the new caster cards. I would say it's between that and the quality control of the new set are the two like biggest complaints that I have. I don't like the new caster cards, and the quality control I feel like is a really big turnoff. Like it's not like a small thing either. It's like every single holo, every single super rare has an issue. And I feel like that's a pretty big turnoff if you're buying it to collect it and grade it and stuff. Because the chances of you pulling the hit that you want, if you have a chase card that's not a textured card, the chance that you're going to pull that card and it not be damaged is extremely slim. Blood Ruby full holo back to back. Actually, no, I got a reverse holo in the last pack. Never mind. Like, for example, I was really excited to pull the Mothman 2-star super rare from the new set. And both of the ones that I pulled, just massive print lines on them. So I feel like if you have a chase card that is not textured, you're probably going to get a dud that has some damage. And I feel like that is not a good thing. And even that basic Mothman Hollow Rare, the 1-star, really good looking card. I was really looking forward to pulling it. I was really looking forward to grading it because I felt like I was going to pull a few. Every single one of those had a print line. Sinkhole Sam, full hollow. And this is another reason why I feel like there might be, or there's a strong possibility there might be a second wave of the new zoo. Maybe they rushed this set out. Maybe the timeline got very crunched with them redesigning the booster boxes. I mean, I would assume that maybe they had the packs already printed because the packs are colored like the old box, like the original box design was. So maybe the packs were already ready and they just needed to make new boxes. But maybe the timeline was crunched because Charlie kept saying before this release date that they were 100% going to meet that March 28th date no matter what. So maybe they rushed out this initial wave just to meet that deadline. And maybe that is what led to these printing issues. And maybe, in a month or two, if they do a second wave, it'll be a little bit better quality control and a little bit more less sped up. Which also makes me not want to buy any more of these boxes. If they come out with another wave that has better quality control and you've got a better chance of pulling whatever hit that you want without a print line or without damage or with good centering, and you've got a better chance at just getting a gradable, regular hollow rare or a gradable super rare that you really like, it kind of makes me want to wait and see if they do come out with a second wave. But then on the off chance that they don't come out with another wave, then you're kind of screwed if you wait hoping for one. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. Good point. Smoking them grits. If it's the same bad, then what? I would hope if they do a second wave, it comes out with better quality. And another thing too is the fact that they specifically did not indicate that this base set was first edition. The fact that this is an editionless base set makes me think they did that to leave the door open to reprint it or come out with other waves. Otherwise, why not make it first edition? Jeff says not supporting another TCG that doesn't care about two major things, art and quality control. Those are huge, both so sloppy. I definitely agree on the quality control front. To be completely honest, though, a lot of the new artwork I really liked. There was only a few, like the casters I didn't like. And beyond that, there were maybe a few cards that I didn't like the artwork for. But to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised with a lot of the artwork from the new set. I liked a lot of it. I don't know that I would call, in general, the new artwork sloppy. I liked a lot of it. Chris just texted me. Let me see if he's available to open his box on stream. Chris has another box of the new booster set, of the new base set. And I'm telling you guys, of anybody that I've ever met, I've never met anybody that has the kind of luck that Chris has. Like I always buy a ton of boxes of whatever I'm opening. Chris will buy one or two and immediately pull the biggest hit, or he'll immediately get, like when we were opening Cryptid Nation for the first time, the first edition boxes, He bought like one box, and of course, his box was one of those weird boxes that had Mothman clumping in it, and he got like 5 Mothman out of the one box that he bought. He just has insane luck, and I have a feeling since he only bought 2 boxes of the new base set, this last box that he has left is probably going to have some crazy hit in it. I've never seen anybody have the luck that he has. I like the Monkey Mirage 2-star card too. I like the Sun Wukong 2-star too with the bamboo in it. Eternal Snowflake Reverse. But I felt like there was a good amount of cards that had an improvement over the original artwork. Like I mentioned Metal Man of Alabama earlier. I thought that version, their artwork for Metal Man was better than any previous version. I'm trying to think what else. What else was a step up here? I don't like the Chupacabra, to be honest. You guys already know that I don't like the what was it? The Snallygaster. I think the new design for Hodag, this is a massive step up from the Metazoo Hodag. I don't think we've pulled a Cryptid Nation Hodag tonight. Let me put this to the side so we can compare it. But I think that's a massive step up. But I felt like there was a good number of cards where I felt like the artwork was better than anything prior. Yeah, Lechuza is another one. That's a good one. Yeah, the new Lechuza is sick. Earth's Core Reverse. Actually, I have a box of sleeved hits from the new Metazoo. Nothing crazy, but just like some of the cards that I liked or some of the cards that I wanted to put in a sleeve. Rainbow Crow is another one. Not this one, but the 3-star Rainbow Crow is just, it's the best Rainbow Crow that was ever made. That artwork was sick. The Yatagarasu style. This, I think, is the best Metal Man we've ever seen. Not a fan of this Quetzal. Here's the Lechuza that they were talking about. Definitely a step up. I like this Uctena better than the original for sure. I think this is a step up. I'm not a big fan of the Bigfoot. Phoenix looks sick. Dragon of Okanto Falls. This is probably one of my favorite designs of this cryptid as well. OG Quetz, OG Piazza, Sun Wukong. Thunderbird. This is like the reverse Zapdos here. And personally, this is my favorite Thunderbird they've ever made. I mean, I guess if you didn't like the original Metazoo artwork, you're probably not going to like a lot of this. I guess I could see that. But I thought some of this stuff was just great. There's the Monkey Mirage that I believe, was it TMX was talking about? I think this card looks sick. I'll have to do some research on this. The Ho-Oh knockoff. I don't even know the story behind this cryptid, which is why I wish they had more flavor text on this. All it says is hovers outside the windows of those who need its guidance. I don't know the story behind this one. Not a fan of the new Snally. Not a fan of the new Piazza Bird. I even like this Hodag, to be honest. I think this is a step up too. OG Dragon of Okanto Falls. I actually prefer the original Lady Luck. Another Rainbow Crow. Dingbell looks about the same, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I felt like there's a lot of artwork that was a step up for sure. I don't think there was very many that were a step down, so I guess that's a good thing. But I do think the caster cards were a massive L. They look very generic, almost like AI generated characters. I think those were the only thing that was a step down. But I guess even if you look back at like the Sam Sinclair, the Rose Robinson, the Adam Ackler from the original Metazoo, they weren't the best looking cards. I mean, we're fond of them because we have like nostalgia for them, but if we're being honest, they weren't the best looking characters. Ghost Train. It feels like the hype for the new zoo has died a bit. Possibly. I mean, I was kind of surprised. I think we had 160 people watching the stream last night at the peak concurrently. And I feel like I was surprised it was that high. Shimshack says, well, Snipe is also an automatic for me. Yeah, I love me some Snipe. What's up, Zoo Bros? Finally made it into a Nick stream. Dang, y'all, it's been a minute. Shoot, Nick ripping OG. Hell yeah, bro. Good to see you, man. I'm glad you could make it. I know tonight was a little bit later. Actually, a lot later. So we've got less people in here by far than last night. I think last night I started before 9 o'clock. I started really early. And tonight I started at midnight. And I just realized it's 1:30 in the morning right now. But I definitely had the itch to rip some Zoo. And I could not resist. And I kind of regret it now because like this whole time I wanted to make, like, up until I streamed last night, I wanted to make videos because I was seeing people pull these hits and I was seeing the hidden rares be revealed for the first time. And I saw somebody pulled the first silver ticket ever like a week or two ago. And I was wanting to make videos, like update videos in between, but I didn't want to take away from the first stream that I did of the new zoo. So I wanted to make it like, it went too long, honestly, of me not posting anything, but I wanted it to be just nothing from me until I opened the new zoo so that it would have a higher viewership. But I kind of regret not making more update videos and talking about some of the stuff going on over the last couple of weeks because I was going to, but then I was like, no, I'm just going to wait and have the stream where I open it be the first time that I talk about the new cards. And I don't know. So maybe the hype is dying down because I really haven't looked at much of it over the last few weeks. But I did order some more. I am going to be opening some more. And I feel like I'm going to get, like I said, I'm kind of going to get caught in that same loop that I got caught in with the Kuromi set. Is I feel like I'm really going to just keep opening boxes because I absolutely hate just buying a single. I love opening packs. I love to rip packs. I feel like that's the gambling addict in me. And I feel like I'm just going to keep ripping booster boxes of the new Metazoo until I pull at least one of the Mothman hidden rares that I'm chasing. How would you rate the new zoo on a scale of 1 to 10? That's a good question. Are we talking about in the context of compared to other trading card game? So, like, for example, what would we rank as a 10? So if we're talking about a scale of 1 to 10, like what would we say the standard is for a 10 to compare it against? I want to see a new textured Monchok Swamp Priestess. Gassy and Bloody Mary, OG Moth, Loveland Frogman are cool, but when ooh, yeah. I hope that's their game plan, Metazoo Menace. So I hope like we get this next set and it's going to be water themed, they said, and it's going to revolve around Frogman. But I'm hoping and praying the third set is like a dark themed set. And we get our Grim Reaper, we get our Wendigo, we get our Headless Horseman, we get a Bloody Mary, maybe we get another Mothman. To me, as far as a theme, just beyond being just cryptid themed, as far as a theme goes, Nightfall was the best. Just like a dark Halloween theme was like the most cohesive and to me the coolest theme. And I hope we get something like that from the new Metazoo. That's just maybe like Nightfall on steroids. And if we're being honest, if they do quarterly releases, and this is why I'm saying the dark themed for the third set. Someone said 3 sets a year, someone said maybe 4. So if they release another set maybe towards the end of summer, the third set would probably be around October, November. Or maybe they would time it around Christmas time, but who knows? But I feel like there is a chance that if they ramp up the release schedule of a set, because we're only in April right now. I mean, it would be realistic to maybe get another, if they're going to do a couple more sets this year, if we got like another one in July and then the next one in October, November was like a Nightfall kind of dark theme set, I could see that. And I kind of strayed away from the question of, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the new zoo? I guess if we compared it to the old, I'd give it like, I'd say 7 out of 10. I'll take away 1 point for the quality control. I'll take another point away for the casters. And I'm going to take another point away. Maybe 7 or 8 out of 10. Actually, I'll do 7. I'll do 7 out of 10. I'm going to take away 2 points out of 10 for the quality control because it was pretty bad. And the only other complaint that I really have is the casters. Otherwise, honestly, I really enjoyed it. I think it was very enjoyable to open. I like the hits. I like the pull rates. I like the different levels of rarity. I like the artwork. As long as the artwork wasn't a step down from the original Metazoo, and I feel like in most cases it was a step up, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. If it had better quality control, I'd give it an 8. I think we're going to get the water set, the Loveland Frogman set. I feel like that's going to be towards the end of summer, maybe July, August. And I could see us getting another set either end of October or like around the holidays, November, December. That's a good point too, Mothhawk. I think the hype with the old zoo amplified everything. Nightfall is my favorite set, and quality control was terrible, especially if you include the spellbook hit rate. I mean, would you guys agree with this though? Honestly, based on what I've just my firsthand experience from what I've seen with the 5 boxes that I opened, I would argue that the quality control on a large scale with this new Metazoo, as far as print lines and just overall damage to the cards, might be the worst of any Metazoo set. I'm trying to think of a set that was worse than this. I guess Nightfall did have a lot of cards that had some damage, some whitening at the top. I think that was a pretty common issue with Nightfall. That was like the big thing. But as far as quality control with these print lines, on literally, it's like every card. It's like every hit, every holo, every super rare. It's literally like all of them. I can't think of a set where the quality control permeated the set so deeply like what I've seen with this so far. Like at least with Nightfall, even if you had a box that had a lot of damaged cards in it, you were probably going to get a handful of hits that were gradable, like you would get a PSA 10, a handful of holos. But I feel like with these new sets, like I said, anything that's not textured, I feel like almost all of them, like none of them are gonna get a PSA 10. So from that standpoint, I almost feel like this is one of the worst, if not the worst, quality control we've seen from a set. Wilderness centering issues, that's true. Samples were I don't know if I don't think we can count samples. That wasn't like an official set. Samples were rough. Reminds me of Chilling Rain. 2 stars definitely need better quality control. So, like, with this, you're basically getting 2 at most 3 hits per box that you're looking at grading outside of everything else. So aside from those 2 or 3 hits, is anything else even gradable from a collecting standpoint? Like, do you think anything else in this set beyond the 2 or 3 hits that you're gonna get out of the box that are textured, can you grade almost anything else in this set? I don't think there's been another Metazoo set where there was only 2 or 3 cards that might get a 10. Because last night when I got off stream, like I said, I took a closer look at every single card that I pulled, like all those cards that I just showed you guys earlier, and literally all of them. Let's look at this Rainbow Crow here. Look, the first card I pull out of here, the first super rare. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a big print line right across the middle on the first super rare that I pulled. It's like every single one. Let's look at Ding Bell. Ding Bell scratching right there on the card. A big old scratch on the side right there. A dent in the corner at the top. Just quickly glancing at these. There's a scratch right there on the Groot slang. I'm not seeing a print line though. There's a scratch right there by the earth typing. Sun Wukong. Print line right there. Or is that a scratch? No, it's a print line. Right below the wall. It's like every single card. Metal Man of Alabama. This is just a regular hollow rare hit. There's a print line going all the way across the mask right there. Through the hollow and on top of the ink part. Piazza Bird, let's see. For one, the centering is horrible. And look at that scratch. Just a giant scratch for no reason. Right there, you see that? Right there by that little piece of flame. Sorry if it's out of focus. I'm looking at the actual card, not at the screen. There's a scratch right there on the flame. It's like it's literally every single card. I'm just pulling random cards out of this box, and it's like every one. Look at that. Look at this. It's every card, bro. The Quetzalcoatl is right at the top. I know you guys can see that right above the name. Look at that massive line across the top. So I'm not exaggerating. It's like every one. And I know some people were saying it's not even just the print lines, it's the centering, and people were saying like the tops and the corners and the bottoms were like all I don't know if this is actually going to impact the grade, but all this like jagged looking shit on the bottom where it was cut, I'm sure that probably will impact the grade, but it's literally every card. I'm really curious to see when people start grading these if anybody gets a 10. Like I feel like whatever issue was causing this was just like it was all of bro, look at this. Same thing on the Chupacabra. Right above the name Chupacabra, you see that line? A huge print line right across the top. Try to get the focus better. There's a line right across the top there, right above the line that says Chupacabra. And these cards, these are all shuffled up. They're not from the same box. Same thing. Sword of Surtur. You see the line right on the top, right above the name? And the centering's horrible, but there's a big old line right above the Sword of Surtur name. Let's do one more. I think I've kind of proven my point here, but now I'm kind of curious if there's any that don't have an issue. Bro, right above the name on this one too. You see it? Big old print line right above the name. And look, right in the middle of it, there's more. I don't know if it's scratching or if it's print lines all the way across like the neck area. You guys can see that right above my finger. There's a line going all the way across there, a line going all the way across the top. There's a chip on the corner. All right, let's do one more. Sun Wukong, fan favorite here. Same thing, bro. Right across the top again. Right above the name. You see that line right up there? I wish this camera were better. Print line right across the top, right above the name. I don't think anybody is going to be able to grade these. No, I agree, Mothhawk. That's what I'm saying, though. I think the textured cards are primarily the cards that people are going to be grading, but that's kind of my point, is if you're only getting 2 textured cards per box on average compared to the old Metazoo. I mean, how many booster boxes of the old Metazoo were there, or how many sets were there where there's only 2 cards out of 1 booster box that you wanted to grade? You basically can't grade anything else out of these boxes. What's up, Civic? And I kind of wonder, even with the textured cards, like if like I kind of wonder, even with these, if there is a print line or if there's scratches, and like to the naked eye, because of the texture, I feel like maybe we can't see it. Like that's why I want to grade all of them, is because we're only gonna know once we actually try to grade these. But just based on looking at the other hits, I feel like there's got to be something with these. Like if there's scratches or some kind of print line or some kind of damage, maybe the texture is hiding it and we can't really see it to the naked eye. I mean, the good thing about these, though, is that the centering isn't going to be an issue, at least on the front, because they're borderless. But on the back, man, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing from left to right? And I mean, centering's not as important on the back, obviously. But even just this random card that I picked from left to right, I'm seeing a pretty significant difference in the thickness of that border from left to right. Let me hold it a little bit closer. Yeah, one of those borders is way, way thinner than the other side. So I feel like even these are going to have some issues. And that's why I kind of want to grade all of them just to see. And I mean, obviously, this isn't going to be an issue for everybody because, some people collect just to have a binder or to complete the set. Different people collect in different ways. But for me personally, I'm looking at it from a grading standpoint because you guys know that I love to grade stuff. And then obviously, once they build up their player community, that's going to be a whole nother element to this. But like for me, when I'm looking at like I love having a collection of slabbed cards. That's like one of my favorite things about collecting is grading stuff. And I just feel like with this, It's going to be rough. But like I said, everybody is different. Everybody collects in different ways. But I am foreseeing that grading these is going to be a challenge. The guy in the video said they inspected all of the cards. The guy in the that main Metazoo video, Snallygaster. True. You'll still have slabs. They just won't say 10. Now here's another interesting question. That might be a dumb question. Let me open this pack. I'm going too slow. But like when PSA is grading a card, are they grading it against the standard of every other card? Or for example, like with these super rares, if every single super rare in the new Metazoo has a print line, are they grading it against just the other super rares? And like, if there's no super rare in the new Metazoo that doesn't have a print line, could there be a PSA 10 that has a print line because there's no better card than that in the set? Or are they grading it against the standard of just any other card? But if the best printed card in the set has a print line, could that be a 10? I guess not. I guess that's a stupid question. Loveland Frogman, full hollow. Nice. No, any other card they graded off. Yeah, I guess that's a stupid question. But I was just thinking of it from the perspective of if the best card that they made in this set is a 9, like the highest quality card from base set turns out to be just a 9, I kind of wish they would just grade it against the best card from that set. That's a good point, Richie. He says, no, but it goes to show how grading ruins perception, because what you're saying is why grade numbers don't matter, because 8s could be the new 10s for these sets specifically. Lizard man. I'm gonna try. That's why I ordered some more boxes. I'm gonna try to grade at least 20 cards from the boxes that I've already opened, because I'm gonna send in a new submission on Monday. So I'm gonna try to grade at least 20. So I'm gonna grade the 10 textured cards, and I'll probably throw in some other stuff too to make it 20. But then I want to open more boxes and just continue to grade it and see. Like I'm genuinely wondering if anybody is going to get a 10 on any of the hits. But like Richie said, does that matter? Because the perception is skewed. I mean, maybe the best card in the set turns out to be a 9. Maybe that is the highest quality they printed on this run. And there's a Lizard Man full hollow. And I guess another reason why I'm harping on this so much is because one of the big promises that I felt like came with this new Metazoo was that we're not gonna be using these cheap Chinese printers. We're gonna be using the best of the best, a US-based printer, and this is gonna be like a high quality print, even if it was rushed, whatever. Even if they rushed it at the last minute. I feel like that was like one of the big selling points of the new Metazoo is like, this is gonna be printed by the best of the best. I believe it was called Millennium, and we're seeing like worse than what we saw from the Chinese printers. Pete Dorr says, from the 2 boxes I opened, I don't think I got a single well-centered card 2-star and above. Every cool card. Yeah, exactly. Every cool card has scratches and print lines. Anyone know the print run? I don't think anybody knows. Are you talking about this Cryptid Nation, or are you talking about the new zoo? They don't follow every card game. Best of the best Japanese print. Honestly, that's a fucking fact right there, smoking them grits. Every Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh card that I've ever graded that was packed fresh or just freshly opened from whatever the product was has gotten a PSA 10. I remember the Kaiba briefcase that either came out in 2024 or 2023 that had the 3 Japanese prismatic secret rare blue eyes white dragons in it. I graded all 3 of those. All 3 of them came back in a 10. I got the English version. 2 out of 3 came back a 9 and 1 came back a 10. I believe the OG was supposed to be 25,000 boxes, but as we've learned, who knows what the actual numbers with anything of the OG was. It definitely, at least I don't think it wasn't 50,000. It was supposed to be 25. I need to grab another can of Zyn. Give me a second here. I need my nicotine while I'm ranting about print lines and centering. All right. Oh, PA's going to bed. Damn. I knew if I walked away for a minute, people would be like, all right, it's time for bed. It's almost 2 a.m. Good night, bro. I'm glad you stopped by. We still got a box and a half left to open here. I love that we've got so many Canadian folks in here tonight. You know, one of the things that really pissed me off was with all this tariff stuff going on. One of the things that I was kind of banking on to have like a nice bit of expendable income to spend on this new Metazoo, and probably one of the reasons why I didn't go deeper on it, to be honest, is all of March I was in talks with a Canadian supplement company that was going to be the next sponsor of my Nick Strength and Power channel, and we were going to start in April. And of course, the beginning of April, they announced these tariffs, which directly impacted the agreement that we had. So now I don't know if it's going to completely fall through or if it's still going to happen, but it's definitely not happening in April. And now we have to renegotiate because these tariffs fucked it up so bad. And it was such a good deal too. And we talked about it like all March. And then of course, the very beginning of April, this tariff thing rolls out and it totally fucked that deal up. And I was totally planning on just using that money for new Metazoo stuff. No, I'm not Canadian. I live in the US, but the company was Canadian. No, not Gorilla Mind. I won't say what it was just in case it still goes through. Oh, you're kidding. And actually the last company that I was with was based in Canada. Muscle Tech was actually based in Canada. But I had this great deal in the works for this next sponsorship. And I was like, oh, it's perfect timing. The new Metazoo's coming out. I'm going to have this extra money that I can spend on just, I can just spend it on my hobbies or whatever. And then the tariff thing hit. No, definitely not Greg Doucette's company. Metal Man of Alabama. Shout out to Meta Dave. Yes, I have ordered more. I have. But had I gotten this sponsorship this month, I would have ordered a lot more than what I've ordered so far. You said his name. Now he's going to make a video. I mean, that's kind of how I structured it in the past was like, when I would blow money on Metazoo, I would primarily only use sponsorship money, not all of it, but I would save whatever money I made from YouTube ads. And then if I was going to spend anything on trading cards or whatever, I would just use sponsorship money for that and just save everything else. But right now, I'm dipping into just YouTube money that I would otherwise be saving, and I would prefer to just save it than just buy, endless Metazoo base set. What are your thoughts on the new Hidden Rare Mothman? I think it is, to be honest, that new Mothman might be my favorite Metazoo card ever made. Because I was such a big fan of the OG Mothman artwork. Not necessarily the card itself, but to see that artwork represented as like a full art textured card that's a hidden rare chase that's like you only pull one per case or whatever. That might be my favorite Metazoo card ever made. To see that artwork in the form of a full art that's textured, it might be the best of the best, in my opinion. Speaking of Meta Dave, have you seen his most recent video showcasing all his Topps Chrome cards? It's insane, including Superfractor, Loveland, Frogman. I have not seen that. He must have bought that same Loveland Frogman that I made an offer on. I saw someone had two of them, but the Cryptid Cam Superfractor was the one that I was making offers on, and they kept lowering the price, but I just ended up not doing it. Did he have the Cryptid Cam Superfractor? Because I think that's one of the best looking ones. Mr. Sly says, what is the difference between the old Mothman and the dark black Mothman? I'm not sure if they are both hidden. The dark black Mothman. There are two hidden rare Mothman. This Mothman, is this the dark black one? This is considered a secret rare, so less rare than the other two. There's the one that is called the Mothbrion, and then there's the OG Mothman. Oh, you might be thinking of the Poncho Box one of the ones that Mothhawk has. Let me pull up Mothhawk's IG. You talking about this? Besides the one in the box? So not this one? There's a Poncho one that is black. Oh, the Jet Yates one? This one? No, there's even another one. This one? So there's these three. There's the one that I just showed you that Mothhawk has, and there's two other ones. He is talking about the Mothbrion. I'm going to have to look at the picture again. I don't remember exactly what it looked like, if it was black or not. Mothman. Oh, he's right. It is Poncho that did the Mothbrion. He's talking about this one then. Yeah, so they're both considered a hidden rare. But as you can see with the sold listings, I think by far the most popular card in this set is the OG. I mean, to me, this is peak. To me, it doesn't get much better than a full art textured OG Mothman. To me, this is like my pinnacle chase. Yeah, I agree. I love that there's two choices. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Mothbrion is sick. I mean, that's a dope card. But if I had to choose one, I'm going OG all day. And apparently Mothman is the only card, or the only cryptid in the set that has two hidden rares. Apparently of the 5, 2 are Mothman, there's a Bigfoot, Piazza, and Sun Wukong. Hodag. Oh yeah, I wanted to compare this Hodag with a new one. See, I really do think a lot of the artwork in the new set is a step up. It takes like the elements of the old interpretation and like ramps it up into something cool. That's what I like. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the nostalgic watercolor Pokemon feel of the old Hodag, but I feel like this takes it in such a cool direction. It's definitely a step up. Nick, I got to tell you about this because it's making me crazy. I ordered a case, said it was going to be a day early Thursday, then Friday. Now they're saying it's going to be Monday. Oh, man. And I'm scared that they lost it or something. I hope they didn't lose it, bro. Steel City Game. I've seen a lot of people. There's been several people in this chat that said they ordered from Steel City Games. Steel City Games apparently just sends it regular post, and I'm so mad that they did that. There's been a few people here saying that that's where they got theirs. What was their price point? Maybe if they still have some, I'll get some more from them. Mene Hune. $12.99 a case, so a little over $100 a box. Okay. Now, have any of you guys ordered from a partner that? Well, I know Mothhawk said he did, right? Or did you get yours direct from distribution? I keep getting it all confused. But has anybody ordered from a partner, not directly from distribution, and actually gotten a factory sealed case? I'd be really hesitant to buy from just a partner a case on the chance that they searched them for the poncho box. By the way, I think that Metazoo is going to go up soon. There's no way they can just keep selling cases willy-nilly like this. The print number's got to be capped somewhere. Mothhawk, was it you that said you got it from Steel City Games? I'm forgetting now. Nice. Another Loveland Frogman full hollow. I'm forgetting now who else said in the chat they got it from Steel City. I saw that a couple times, though. Oh, Metazoo Menace. Okay, it was Menace that said that. I ordered from Steel City Collectibles. They don't have cases listed anymore. I got lucky for sure. Got mine from Distro. Okay. Yeah, it was Menace that I was thinking of then. Let me look. Steel City. You're right. They don't have cases anymore. Damn, that's not a bad price for the... See, I'm going to get back to spending a fortune on Metazoo. I've kind of, for the past few months, I haven't really been buying anything. They've got Topps Chrome Hobby Box cases for $394. That seems like a really good price for a case. Mr. Slash says, I'll never order from them again. You should assume if you're paying $1,300. Oh, yeah. I agree with that. If you're paying over $1,000 for anything, you should get priority for sure. I agree with that. But $394 for a sealed case of Chrome Hobby Boxes seems really good. Beast of Busco. Oh, I'm sure they did, bro. They must have printed an insane amount of tops because we all cracked a ton. I mean, especially because of the fact that it was distributed and printed by Topps. I'm sure it was a much larger scale operation than anything Metazoo did. Lizard Man. So have we only pulled one Mothman out of these boxes so far? Pulled a few frogs. Let's see, what all do I have in card savers here? That's not from that. We still have a box left, but our Mothman ratio seems pretty low. That Chaos Crystalline one. Oh, I put the moth over here, didn't I? There's the frog. There's the moth. Yeah, so we pulled a good amount of frogs. Hopefully this last box has some juice in it. I don't know. I'm really curious to see what happens with this this new Metazoo. I just have that. I have that FOMO feeling. I will say that I do have the same, almost the same FOMO feeling that I had when Cryptid Nation came out. It's definitely giving me that same FOMO, but I'm just a little bit more cautious this time, and I'm a little bit more hesitant to just spend thousands and thousands of dollars on it. I kind of want to wait and see what happens. I do have a gut feeling there's going to be another wave, and the prices are going to go down. And so I'm just, even at like $100 a box, I don't know. It's hard for me to want to pull the trigger on just cases at 100. I know, man. And that's the gamble of it. If they don't reprint, things will go up a good amount. It's already hard to find a sealed case under 2,000. I know, that's the gamble. And that's the FOMO part of it. That's the part in the back of my mind that's like, if they don't, I should just buy a bunch right now. But then if they do, I'm going to regret it. I don't think it'll say wave 2, bro. I think, again, that's why I think they didn't make this first edition. So they could reprint it if they wanted to, but who knows? I have no fucking idea. I just have this gut feeling for some reason there's going to be more. But you enjoy ripping, so it's not a total L, brother. That's true. Four Frost Auras. Man, that's crazy. 4 Frost Auras back to back. I don't think I've ever had that. 4 box toppers in a row, all being the same. I think part of my hesitancy is just like the hindsight that I think most of us have now. If you've been in Metazoo for a few years, like just all the money that I spent and all the money that I'm sure a lot of you guys spent on booster boxes, whether it was, Nightfall, Wilderness, UFO, whatever it was, back in the days where we were paying, MSRP even or over MSRP. I remember paying like $400 or $500 for Nightfall boxes at the peak. But like looking back at all that money that I spent per booster box when Metazoo FOMO was like at its max, and then fast forward to now, and we're seeing booster boxes of, UFO, Wilderness, Seance, second edition, going for like $5 to $10 a box on these whatnot streams. When I can remember a day just a couple of years ago where I remember paying $150 for UFO boxes just a few years back. And I kind of look back at that in the hindsight when I see these new Metazoo boxes at 100, 110, 120. It just makes me like, I don't know. I'm just very hesitant this time around. And trust me, I love Metazoo, and my gut feeling is that I want to go deep on it, and I want to keep blowing money on it like I did in the past. But there's just something about that burn that we got with the last Metazoo. I feel like we all got burnt so bad. And like seeing these whatnot streams where the booster boxes are going for like $5 to $10 that I used to buy like dozens of these boxes for 150, 200 a box. It's just like, what was I thinking? I should have just waited. And just that feeling is like sticking with me, and it's making me not want to buy more of the new stuff. And I just can't shake it. Nah, I feel that, Nick. We did get burned. That's why I'm waiting. Okay, I'm glad you guys get it then. That's why I don't think they should overprint the new zoo. That could very well happen again. Differences in new crew. I mean, yeah, I want to have faith that this is going to be successful, and the new crew is going to steer the ship in the right direction. But just that there's just something about that old Metazoo that I just can't shake. Just how bad so many of us got burned. And, you know, a lot of it was my fault too, and that's why I'm so hesitant. Is like I FOMO'd into a lot of that stuff, and I just like compulsively was buying these booster boxes at, you know, these over MSRP prices that you can now get for $5 to $10. And it's just like, man, if I had waited a year, 2 years, I could have gotten 10 boxes for the price of one, 20 boxes for the price of one. And just something about that, for whatever reason, with this new Metazoo, I can't shake it. Shimshack with a $5 dono. Thanks, bro. that's another booster box of second edition right there. I remember paying $180 for wilderness boxes. I get it, bro. Yes. These alt Mothman boxes hopefully come down soon. I'm in. Hell yeah, bro. Balloon Fight says I'm in the. I don't remember which year it was. I guess it would have been. It was my birthday that I bought like 6 or 7. I bought a lot of first edition at $800 a box, like 6 or 7 boxes. And it was my birthday, but I'm trying to think what year that would have been. I want to say it would have been 2022, maybe. May. I want to say May of 2022 was the birthday that I bought a bunch of first edition at $800 a box. So fast forward just 2.5 years where Evend had the $70 booster box blowout sale. Literally less than a tenth of the price that it was just a couple years prior. I mean, it's pretty crazy. Drink is on me. Thank you, bro. I'm drinking one of these like total white trash margarita in a can drinks, but they're pretty fucking good. Totally understandable. I still want ham on this set. And you got what do I want to say here? It paid off for you, Mothhawk, going ham on this set. It was a good decision for you, I would say. I don't think you should regret it at all. I think it definitely paid off for you. And I don't regret any of that stuff back in the day either. Like I had so much fun. Some of the streams that we did, that's what made them so crazy. Is like stuff at the peak when the Metazoo was at its peak popularity. I mean, nobody else was buying that many boxes at those prices. And that's what made the stream so crazy. Like when Nightfall hit its peak and I was opening like 24 boxes in a stream, that's what made the stream so crazy. Is like no one else is doing this, and that was the fun of it. So I don't regret it, but it's just the drop off was so significant. I still feel it. And even like the first edition stream, whatever birthday that was, where we did 6 boxes of first edition at $800 a box. It's like a $5,000 stream that today, or a few months ago at least, would have costed like $500. It just, the drop off was just so steep. Yeah. I don't blame you at all, Nick. You went particularly hard. Yeah. That's putting it lightly. Holy gem. I will say though, what I've seen so far of the new Metazoo, aside from the quality control issues, it is an enjoyable rip. As far as enjoying the opening, it is fun to open. And I will be going deeper. It's just I haven't decided quite how deep I'm gonna go. Even if it falls tomorrow, I don't regret it. It's a $1 billion idea with so much potential, just needs to be run correctly. However, if this does fail, I will not be giving a third company a chance. That's probably wise. If I were you, though, Mothhawk, I'd be really happy with your decision either way. Like you said, even if it fails tomorrow, I mean, with the Poncho box, the Hidden Rare Mothman, even if I spent a few $1,000s like you did, or you probably spent more than that, I guess, I'd be happy with it, even if it fails tomorrow. You got like the flagship collectible of the new set. I mean, you got as good as it gets. That'd be like, I guess it'd be like the equivalent of pulling a red ink on your first case ever of Cryptid Nation first edition. I mean, I'd be over the moon with that. You selling any first edition boxes? I need a sealed one. This is my last sealed first edition box. Well, I have one in my sealed collection, but that's the one that I'm not going to open. I may do a horse race, maybe. I don't have anything. I don't know what I have over here that I could give away, though. My desk is like, look at all this shit. My desk is like just packed with shit right now. And all this shit over here. I don't even know what I have over here. I've just got so much shit on my desk right now. Tizrock. I had no dopamine for 3 days after that first day. Minus the lottery tickets and Green Man, I'm at over 13 complete sets of Wilderness at the moment. Jesus, dude. That number is climbing weekly and monthly. Damn. The toilet, yeah. Another Metal Man of Alabama. Shout out to Meta Dave. Yeah, hopefully the new boxes that I ordered, I'll have them in time for next Friday. I want to try to make Fridays the new streaming night, because now that bodybuilding is kind of back into full swing, I mean, pretty much every weekend for the next 14, 15 weeks, there's going to be a pro bodybuilding competition every Saturday for the most part that I'm going to have to cover on my main channel. So if I do go back to streaming on a weekly basis, I probably need to make it like a Friday night thing. So I'm probably going to need to order Well, I already ordered some, but I'm probably gonna need to order it every week on at least Monday to get it by Friday. Probably need to just order it the Friday before. But I think going forward, I do wanna try to get back to weekly streams at a minimum, and if I do that, it's gonna be Friday nights. I'm banking on Sun Wukong if the game does get some legs. I mean, I do think that's not a bad, not a bad strategy. I do think that character has some legs to it. I mean, it certainly seems to be a fan favorite. I don't know if it's quite overtaken Mothman, but I definitely think it's number 2 right now. I agree. Wilderness was really fun. And that's the other thing too, is like one of the main reasons why I opened so much Wilderness, because I opened a ton of it, was to chase those secret rares, those golden tickets, the silver tickets, bronze, and the green man. And of all the Wilderness I've opened, I've probably spent more than $10,000 on Wilderness. I think that's probably a conservative estimate. I've never pulled any of the secret rares. So it was a very fruitless pursuit, but just the idea that you could pull one of those lottery chases was cool. Honestly, out of all the Metazoo that I've opened, the only secret rares that I've pulled have been the 2 blue inks from Cryptid Nation 2nd edition. I would say the 1 of 1 Babe the Blue Ox from Topps Chrome, I would count that as the equivalent of a secret rare. I've never pulled a red ink. I've never pulled an old scratch. Never pulled a secret rare from Wilderness. Yeah, that's all I've ever pulled out of all the shit that I've opened. And honestly, I kind of wonder sometimes with UFO and Seance in particular, if maybe I did pull a secret rare, especially with UFO. I opened a lot of UFO. If I did pull one and just didn't realize it, just how they were kind of a regular hollow with a small number at the bottom. I feel like it would be very easy if you were ripping a lot of it to just not notice or just to overlook if maybe you did pull one and you just throw it in your hollow binder or your hollow pile or whatever. In my opinion, those were the worst secret rares that they ever did, were just the one. I think they did a little bit of that in native too. They had like the Native American artist secret rares in native, but they also had like some regular cards that were just numbered. Actually, what did they? I'm about to look that up right now on Metazoo HQ. The only native secret rare that I can picture in the back of my head is that like blue frog looking thing. Let's see, cards, native. Native 19, special releases. Native Metazoo minis. Man, why did this never happen? What the fuck? I've never even seen this before. I've seen the miniature Piazza Bird card, but have you guys seen this? Let me make sure this is pointing at the screen. Hold on. There we go. I don't even remember seeing this. Metazoo minis with 6 miniature booster packs in it? I don't remember this at all. You guys see that? Yeah, you should. I do not remember this. Weird. All right, how do I get to the secret rares here? Oh, there we go, serialized. Actually, before I forget, let me go back. Where did it go? Okay. So I remember this. I don't know how good you can see this, but I remember the little mini Piazza bird. I don't remember ever hearing about this. There we go. But anyway, back to what was I even looking for? Native secret rares? So like the UFO ones, just kind of very basic. Seance in particular, I think Seance was particularly egregious. Like at least with UFO, like some of these UFO cards, the artwork of the character was different than what was like the regular UFO card. But like in Seance, it was the exact same artwork. Like these are the exact same as a regular holo would look like. They just had a little tiny stamp in the bottom. I'm sure I've opened enough of this that I may have overlooked some. So Native, I guess Native didn't have any regular holos that were, or at least not that have been pulled. I guess these were all different. This is the one. This is the one Native card that I would want in a secret rare. My favorite color is blue, and I love frogs. All right. Anyway, that was a weird tangent. Seance was disrespectful. Am I like completely tripping though with the Metazoo minis thing? Logan Paul is definitely that's Chris watching. Am I tripping though? I don't remember the mini booster pack thing at all. I don't remember them ever even promising that. I mean, maybe I've just completely forgotten, but I for some reason I don't have any memory of that at all. I remember them showcasing that little Piazza bird, that little mini Piazza bird at like a Collecticon or something, or maybe it was a Comic-Con, but no, I know it didn't. I know they never actually came out with it. I'm saying I don't even remember that they teased it. Like that image of 6 miniature booster packs in like a blister pack. I've never seen that before in my life. I don't remember that teaser at all. Kane says, I thought it was fan made. I saw it on Discord a while back. Clan Toro says, yeah, I think it was supposed to be a Walmart or Target thing. Logan Paul, aka Christopher Michael Stuyvesant, says, this is Queen Elizabeth. I'm not actually dead. Can you send $500 to help me get home? Nick, do you plan on playing? I do. I 100% do. With this new Metazoo, I want to go to more conventions, but specifically, I want to learn how to play and I want to compete in, I don't know what they're going to call the competitions, if they're going to be towers or caster cups or what, but I want to compete in as many as I possibly can. Even if I suck ass, I want to show up and just try. I think it'd be fun. And I think it'd add like a new dynamic to my Metazoo collecting if I actually enjoy the gameplay. But I am planning on learning how to play. And if they do have something similar to the towers, you will 100% see me there. And another thing that I enjoy about this community too is it's so niche and it's so small that like so many people that are watching this video right now and so many people that watch the videos in general, Like, those are the same people that are going to a Collecticon for Metazoo or going to a water tower or a dark tower. It's like the same couple hundred people. And honestly, when I go to something like that, a Collecticon or the Mothman Festival or a dark tower or whatever, I get recognized way more going to something like that than going to even something like the Arnold Classic. And I think a big reason is I never really show my face on my main channel, and I show it a lot here. But like the last Mothman Festival that I went to, I got recognized by way more people there than even going to like a big bodybuilding event, because the community is so much smaller, but they're so much more active. Like, all the people watching are the people going to XYZ event. And I think it's really cool. And I'm not a very competitive person either, though. So if I play, that's kind of the reason I want to play. I'm not going to be mad if I suck. I'm not going to be mad if I lose. I'll just enjoy playing, because I'm not like a super competitive guy. So, but of course, in the back of my mind, I hope I end up being really good and I can win something. I think all of us in the chat are the glue holding it together. 100%, bro. I mean, look at how many people earlier in this chat were the people saying, I bought a case, I bought a case, I bought a couple cases. These are the people buying the new Metazoo. It's the people that supported the old zoo. There's probably more people in this chat buying a case than anywhere else in a, like, as far as being in a concentrated place, than maybe a GWOAT whatnot stream. Like, this probably has the most people that have bought cases of the new Metazoo than anywhere else. I mean, hell, I'm probably one of the biggest Metazoo YouTube channels, and I haven't even bought a full case yet. I think that's saying something. There we go. Full Hollow Mothy Boy. Our second one of the night. Even this next order that I placed, I bought some more boxes. Even that was not a full case. I'm telling you guys, I'm not exaggerating. I'm very hesitant with this new Metazoo. I want to buy a bunch of it, but I'm trying my best to just be like, no, don't do it. Don't go too hard on this. But keep buying it little by little. I don't even know why either. I'll be honest. I bought 10 more boxes. I don't know why I didn't just buy 12 and make it a case, but just something, like I said, something in me I just can't shake. Lightning glass. Babe the Blue Ox with a big old print line. He can go in a Pokemon sleeve. At the very least, I've got a few more cards to add to my PSA submission tonight, and I'm going to have a nice addition. So like I said, what I do with my, I don't do complete sets. I've got a ton of binders full of Metazoo cards, but really what I do is I organize them by set for sure, but I just do all the hollows from any given set and try to fill as many binders as possible with hollows from just that set. So I don't complete sets, but I do like making binders of hollows from one specific set. And I do have a first edition binder. Well, I've got multiple, but I've got one that's like halfway full. And I think after tonight, I'm going to fill up the rest of it. That's kind of I'll show you guys in a video one day, all my binders and stuff. Because my graded stuff that you guys see, like here in my office, that's just like the tip of the iceberg of the Metazoo cards that I've got. I've got bookshelves and bookshelves full of just loaded binders, especially of like the cheaper stuff, like Wilderness and UFO and Seance. I've got just binders and binders full of the hollow hits from those boxes. Hoop Snake. Unless it specifically says case, you're not going to get a case if you buy 12. That's kind of the reason why I haven't bought 12. If I do buy 12, I want it to be a sealed case. I don't know. Just something in my head was like, nah, don't go all the way. Don't buy 12. Just buy 10. Just arbitrarily. Totally, man. I flipped my lid earlier when I pulled a hollow turbocharge. Ooh, that was a really good looking card. Nick, what do you think about Mike's signature on sealed product and singles? Honestly, I know like the meme would be that it devalues it. That would be the funny way to look at it. But I think honestly, maybe in the long run, it will probably add a little premium to anything that Mike signed from the OG Metazoo. The fact that he's gone and the old Metazoo is dead, it is like a little piece of history. So I know it's like a funny meme to say it devalues it, but I feel like in the long run, it probably will be a good thing. Even though Mike is so hated and so despised by the community, having his signature on like a Kickstarter box or a first edition box, I think it is a nice little piece of Metazoo history that I think in the long run will probably age well. I would imagine though right now, if you sold something with Mike's signature on it, it's probably not going to add much of a it's not going to add much of a boost to it. Honestly, you know what? I don't have anything with Mike's signature on it. If anybody has something good, I'd buy it from you. Now that I think about it, yeah, I don't have anything that Mike has ever signed because I've never really wanted one because Mike was so despised. But now that you kind of said that, it is a nice piece of Metazoo history if you had something with a signature on it that was like a staple, like a Kickstarter or a first edition box. It would be kind of cool to have. Not selling, but I do. You know what? I haven't texted Mike in a long time. I'm about to text him right now. We'll see if he actually responds. I guess it is 3 in the morning. And I haven't talked to him since the last text says October 10th. I said, yo, bro, long time no talk. If I sent you a booster box, would you sign it for me at 3 a.m. 6 months later? We'll see what he says. I honestly don't have an answer on that, Mr. Sly. How rare is the new Poncho box? 1 out of 10 cases? I honestly don't know. I think somebody in the stream last night said it was like 1 out of 20 cases. But I don't know how we would. I mean, unless you ordered 20 cases yourself, I don't know how we'd really gauge that number. You know what I actually think would be really cool? I'll have to talk to Charlie about this too. I would like to get a new booster box, one of the new Metazoo base set boxes, signed by both Mike and Charlie. I think that would be actually really cool. Uncle Sam full hollow. I think I would probably have Mike sign it first because I feel like Mike would be less receptive to signing it if Charlie had already signed it. I wonder what the fuck Mike is up to. Honestly, I hadn't realized it's been that long that I've talked to him, that I haven't talked to him rather, until I just looked at our text message thread. October 10th was the last time we talked. I can't believe it's been that long. I am kind of curious, like what he's been doing, if he's been paying any attention to the new Metazoo or what. I might be down to sell my first signed CN2 NFT booster box by Mike. Shoot me a DM. Yeah, we could talk. Shoot me a number and we'll see. I think Cryptid Keeper had someone at Miami Collecticon had Charlie sign a box that Mike had already signed. I guess that could be another option. I could just buy one that Mike had already signed and then take it to Collecticon or have someone take it to Collecticon for me and have Charlie sign it. Because honestly, that's the thing that sucks, man, is like I want to go to one of these Collecticons, but honestly, I don't think I can. Because like I said, with my main channel, now that bodybuilding, like this is like the bodybuilding season is spring and summer. This is like their peak season. And there's basically a bodybuilding competition every weekend that I pretty much have to cover. So I really can't be going out of town to any of these collecticons on the weekend, and most of them are over the summer or here in the spring. So I'd probably have to give it to somebody to like take for me. Because any time that I do go out of town, it's going to be to go to one of these bodybuilding competitions. And I tried to check and see if there was any overlap with some of the cities that these competitions are in with the collecticons, and I don't think there was any that were in the same city on the same weekend. But I'm pretty much not going to be going anywhere on the weekend for like the next 4 months. Eternal Snowflake. I'm heading out. All right, Mothhawk. I appreciate you staying for so long. I know it's late. fucking 3 a.m. But I appreciate you stopping by. It's been good chatting, good hanging out with everybody. And I appreciate all you guys that are still here. I mean, the viewer count has been low, but it's stayed pretty consistent the whole night, considering we've gone till 3 a.m. It's been around 50 something pretty much the whole evening, which I think is actually pretty cool. On eBay right now, Seance signed booster box 225 or best offer. Honestly, that's probably what I'd be looking at. Maybe not a Seance box, but as far as what I would buy that I haven't bought so far from the old Metazoo, I think probably the only thing that I would really be looking at is like maybe like really cool signed or like doodled boxes, because I don't have anything like that. I think the coolest thing that I have, actually, do I have it in here? Oh, where is that thing? Here, I got to show you guys this if I haven't showed it to you already. Someone, a Metazoo employee, actually sent this to me. I might have already showed you guys this. It's the only signed Metazoo thing that I have besides my, I've got a serialized out of 5 Loveland Frogman that's signed by Chris Campman and Poncho. But where is... Oh, yeah, there it is. I've got it right here. Let's see. Oh, come on. Dude, check this out. So Metazoo employee actually sent me this. This is from Caster's Cup. I think it was the first one. And it's signed by everybody on the Metazoo staff. Isn't that fucking sick? They sent me this for free just because they like the videos. It's got like a Poncho. It's got a Poncho signature. It's got a... Whose doodle is that? But it's got everything. Even Andy is on here. Isn't that cool? It's one of my favorite things. 2022. Yeah, that thing's cool. I can't say the name of the employee, but it was somebody that was working that event, and they were very upset with the direction that this was after. This was post Mike posting the closure letter. I didn't know that Texas Ted works for Cryptid Camp now. Giant salamander. Lightning glass. We're down to our last couple of packs here, guys. This has been a pretty fun hangout session, though. To be honest, man, I haven't paid any attention to Cryptid Camp at all. Another lightning glass. Yeah, I did get my Nom Nom boxes. Honestly, I don't even want them. I've been trying to trade them. I've got them listed on eBay. I've been trying to sell them. Nobody wants them. I haven't gotten a single offer on them. I started them out at $200 a box. I lowered them to, I think, $119 or best offer. I haven't gotten a single offer. Nobody is watching them. Nobody wants this shit. I don't even want to open it at this point. It's 10 months late. I at the time that I ordered it from Kickstarter, I was looking forward to opening it, but I almost don't even want to celebrate the fact that it was supposed to be delivered in July of 2024, and I just got it, and it's April of 2025. I don't even want it anymore. And no one wants to buy it from me. Nobody wants to trade me anything for it. Actually, we've got 3 packs left. What am I talking about? It seemed like a halfway decent idea when they came out with it. And back then, bear in mind, we didn't know that Metazoo was even coming back. I think now it's like a race to the bottom with Nom Nom. How much do they go for? Well, I listed them right when I got them. And when I got them, I had seen a couple sell for around 200 or 250. And now it's like a race to the bottom. I've got them at 119. And like I said, I haven't even gotten an offer on. Like, I don't think anybody wants the shit. And I think it was a pretty high price. I honestly don't even remember what I paid for them. But I think even the Kickstarter price, I believe, was around $100 a booster box. I will say, though, I got 5 blister packs, and those sold, like, within an hour of me listing them at $20 a blister. So I sold the 5 blisters for $100, like, immediately. But the booster boxes, I mean, nobody seems to have any interest in them at all. All right, last pack, guys, and then I'll let you guys go to bed. And we're ending on a Slide Rock Bolter. Okay. So that's going to be the plan going forward. I want to try to get back to weekly streams, and I'm hoping it is going to be Friday nights. So if you guys want to tune in to any streams of the new Metazoo, going forward, it should be Friday nights only. And if I'm free on Saturdays, potentially a Saturday, but I would expect it to be Friday. So I'll see you guys on the next one. I probably will make some kind of news video this week for a main channel for a video just on like Metazoo updates, going over like all the hits and just like general thoughts on the new set. But the next stream should be Friday. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night. Get some sleep. It's after 3. I'll see you guys later.